Other groups still at risk.
Particularly older people who have underlying illnesses and people who are immunocompromised.
Masks are still mandatory for everyone in doctors' offices and on public transportation. Health officials say people who are not vaccinated and don't wear masks are primarily putting themselves at risk. With new mask guidance, some major retailers are relaxing their rules. Walmart, Costco, and Trader Joe's will no longer require vaccinated shoppers to wear a mask unless state or local laws say otherwise. Kroger and Food Lion will continue to require masks at all of their locations. University of Virginia doctors are applauding the CDC for its new guidance, but say it's going to be up to individuals to weigh their personal risk. UVA health officials say although the announcement came quick, the science backs it up. They clarify it is completely okay to still wear a mask if it gives you a level of comfort, but those who are fully vaccinated are safe from serious COVID-19 infection.
I personally applaud the CDC because I think it does follow the science. What the CDC is doing, I think, is shouting from the rooftops now, these vaccines are effective and they prevent infection. They prevent, importantly, infections that lead to hospitalizations and death. So this is the way that we return to the new normal.
The Department of Health estimates tomorrow Virginia will cross 700,000 total COVID cases since the pandemic began. The Department of Energy says gas stations throughout the South and Mid-Atlantic should be back to normal this weekend. After a cyber attack forced a shutdown of the Colonial Pipeline, operations resumed on Wednesday. Officials say about 200 stations are returning to service every hour, and things should be back to normal by Monday.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
It's been a beautiful start to the weekend, a lot of sunshine for us. While we did have some clouds around, that did not prevent us from warming up. In fact, close to about 10 degrees warmer today than we were yesterday. We are getting a live look from a Roanoke-Blacksburg Regional Airport sky cam. There are those clouds. They are going to be increasing as we go throughout the next few hours and overnight, but just take a look. Temperatures in the 70s when you head east of the Parkway, holding on to the 60s west of the Parkway, but certainly warmer than we have been recently. And a little bit closer to average. We're actually still unseasonably cool at this point. If you're heading out for this evening, our temperatures will be dropping fairly quickly, at least until those clouds really start to move in. We're already into the upper 50s right around 11. For tonight, temperatures eventually back down into the 40s and lower 50s, so not as cool as we have been over recent mornings, but still unseasonably cool for this time of year. 51 in Roanoke, 48 back towards Alta Vista, and 49 in Blacksburg. Tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures will be running slightly cooler than today because of the clouds that we'll be bringing in, but also the rain chances that we have. We'll look at that here in just a moment. 70 degrees here in Roanoke and Alta Vista, 64 back to Pulaski, 63 in Floyd, and 10 degrees warmer in Danville. Your rain coverage here over the next few days definitely going to be increasing. Best chance coming in on Monday. However, both Sunday and Tuesday we'll be watching. So future tracker for tomorrow, right around 8 a.m. There's those overcast skies. They will continue for the rest of the day, and then we start to bring in that rain right around lunchtime. Notice it is especially widespread for areas back towards the New River Valley. It really will be sticking around for much of the afternoon. It will be very hit and miss. You may not see any rain at all, whereas you head just a little bit to your west, they are seeing some heavier rain. So we'll continue to watch this. Things are a little bit quieter overnight Sunday into Monday before we bring in our next round of rain. This is definitely going to be more widespread, a little bit more impactful too, of course, having some heavier rain embedded within all of this. As for your 7-day forecast, there are those rain chances along with temperatures ranging anywhere from the mid-60s to the mid-70s. But for those who have been wanting it to warm up and bring in more sunshine, there is all of that sunshine. Highs returning to the 80s by Thursday. Lindsay?
Thank you, Delaney. A new massive park in Christiansburg aims to provide space for children to play, dogs to roam free, and attract visitors' dollars. 10 News reporter Alexis Davila is working for you to find out how else this nearly $18 million park will impact the community.
8 years ago, Robert Cord Hall noticed a for sale sign for 63 acres near Huckleberry Trail. Today, the land has a new sign, Christiansburg Signature Park, coming soon.
I saw fields and I saw cows, which is a wonderful thing too. Now I'm going to see children, I'm going to see families, I'm going to see a healthy community thriving.
The park will have 4 fields to play football, lacrosse, and soccer. Mayor Mike Barber says it's an amenity that will bring in plenty of dollars to the town's economy by attracting tournament athletes.
They can play in tournaments, and they hold tournaments with 165 teams coming from 5 and 6 states. They all need a place to stay, they need a place to eat, and they need a place to shop.
Barber says they expect the park to attract visitors as far as 200 miles away, especially since this park will have an inclusive playground and splash pad that will help children with disabilities. A touching feature for the Parks and Recreation Director, Brad Epperly.
It's just an item that I believe every child should have the opportunity to enjoy play and recreation and education, and this being able to have this inclusive playground will give that opportunity to so many children in our area that do not have it.
Other features include 2 dog parks, walking trails, 2 pavilions, and a challenge course. Some amenities may be open as early as November 2022, but the full completion of the park is set for the spring of 2023. In Christiansburg, Alexis Davila, 10 News, working for you.
After shutting down last year due to the pandemic, Local Colors is back in Roanoke with its cultural festival. Normally, the festival takes place at Elmwood Park with more than 40 vendors, but due to COVID restrictions, more than 20 countries were represented through music, food, and crafts this year at River's Edge Sports Complex. Some guests even dressed in traditional outfits and displayed their flags to proudly represent their heritage. As Lisa Spencer says, their cultures matter.
A lot of times, especially for immigrants and refugees, they come here and feel that that has to be less significant. Local Colors exist to let them know that no, it is important and we want to celebrate it.
Local Colors will showcase cultural performances on their Facebook page in June. No one is injured after a fire at a senior living community in Roanoke this morning. Crews responded to the home on Hirschberger Road Northwest, about a mile west of Walmart. They arrived to see smoke coming from an apartment in the complex. Authorities say the fire did not spread to other apartments. The cause is still under investigation. And a Danville home is no longer safe to live in after a fire yesterday. Authorities say they received a report of a fire on Longview Avenue. When crews arrived, they found heavy flames in 2 rooms. Officials say no one was inside at the time of the fire. The Danville Fire Department says they're still determining a cause. Officials are calling it the deadliest day for the West Bank in years. At least 10 Palestinians were killed by Israeli forces across the region on Friday. An airstrike also destroyed a multi-story building housing the offices of multiple media outlets. Protesters gathered today near the Israeli embassy in Jordan, calling for the cancellation of the Jordan-Israeli peace deal. The Palestinian Health Ministry says Israel's airstrikes have killed more than 130 people.
It's horrific to watch. That is certainly why our focus is on de-escalating what is happening on the ground.
The Israeli Prime Minister says Israel attempts to avoid attacks against what they say are innocent parties. Coming up tonight on 10 News at 11, it's been a busy week in Southwest Virginia. And in case you didn't get the chance to see the headlines every night, we're working for you to bring you some of this week's top talkers. Well, that's all the time we have for now. We'll see you back here at 11.